Hey guys, it's Wednesday, October 12th already. Almost halfway there.
Bum bada bum 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 bada bum 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 bada bum 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 bum.
So today I want to talk about World of Darkness a little bit and the combat system and a couple more reasons why I like it. I guess combat's the easiest part. It doesn't work on a D20 or a D6 system. It actually uses a D10 system. And the idea is you get a certain amount of dice in your dice pool based on the skills you have and what you're trying to do. And you take those dice and you roll them. And we have successes and failures. Your successes are going to be any rolls of an 8, 9, or 10. And then everything else is a failure. So ideally you want to have a lot of dice. The other thing is if you roll a 10, the game has a rule called 10 again, which means if you roll a 10 you can re-roll that dice and you actually continue to re-roll if you continue getting 10s, adding to your successes. So that's a pretty cool system. It allows for you to succeed something because there's varying degrees of success in any action you might do. So for an example of the success system, let's say we sit down in front of a computer in game and we're trying to bring down a security system of a building we're trying to break into. So what we do is take my intelligence skill and add it to my computer use skill, and that gives me a dice pool roll. And then the DM can make additions or subtractions based on circumstances. But then you take those dice and you roll them, and depending on how many successes, it shows you, first of all, if you succeed, and then if you do, what degree of success you have. So you can really own something, or you can just barely have succeeded. So the game is interesting in that regard. It's not quite a crit system, but you can really succeed sometimes. The other thing is the skill system and stat system all works on a scale of 1 to 5. So let's say you put 3 points in dexterity and only 1 point in composure. Well, when the crap really starts hitting the fan, you add an ability plus a skill. So if stuff starts getting bad and you're rolling composure with only 1 dice, chances are you're not going to succeed. So stuff is going to generally scare you more, cause you maybe to react more fearfully. However, on the other hand, if we're doing something like, trying to suture wounds, we might take intelligence and medicate, whatever it's called. And if you're intelligent and you've put skill points in, maybe 4 points into medicate and 5 points into intelligence, you now have a 9 dice pool. Now the GM might say that the person's carotid artery might have been cut, so that's minus 4 dice. Well, that still gives you 5 chances of success with the dice you're going to roll. So that kind of system is really cool. It makes it easy. Most of the rolls are generally comparing or adding two different things to give you your dice pool. So it's a lot of fun, and if you do get into the 10 again area, it can be explosive sometimes, which is also kind of fun to look forward to. So that's really the gist of the combat and the skill use. It's relatively easy. A lot's happening in the game, especially if you do the combined stuff like Joe does, where you've got all kinds of different essentially races, all separate divisions of supernaturals interacting together. The other nice thing about it, I said in the other video, is it's set in our modern time. So it really gives you a wide scope of anywhere from, in your lifetime, really the 80s to even 10 or 15 years from now, giving yourself a role-playing system that covers that time period and can slide right into any kind of storyline you have about modern day stuff. For example, I can't give away too much because some of the people involved are watching. My vampire Graham came to help the Motley Crew in Joe's campaign fight the fights they're going, and hoping to ask for help for them to come back to Philadelphia with him, because there's a little bit of a mage problem. So he's really hoping they come back and join him. And without giving too much away, there may be some temporal things. I'm very much into the Star Trek temporal stuff. I think I've mentioned that before. But the game allows me to do a cool kind of setting that takes place in modern day Philadelphia. And I actually plan on pulling from some actual history of Philadelphia to do some time escapades. We'll see if how far deep the players get. I try not to railroad people, so there's more than one way to skin whatever you're trying to skin. But I want to leave the option open. But the system does really well at giving you the tools you need to hide these supernaturals within the world we live in. And it can be fun to kind of rewrite history. So I'm looking forward to getting the opportunity to do that once Joe's campaign wraps. And the other thing is obviously rolling over PCs into NPCs and other campaigns. And we've made some pretty epic characters so far, so why let them go to waste? With permission, of course, of the player character, and making every attempt to continue on the spirit of the character. Try to move them over and use them in some of the other events that I'm planning, and I would be surprised if Joe wasn't going to do the same with his next campaign that he's got in mind. Anyway, that's just a little more about World of Darkness. I would like to get into that or another system a little more. I'd like to hear what you guys would like to hear more about. But for now, I'm going to say goodnight, and as always, I'll see you tomorrow.